Well, hey everyone. Leigh and Pettus with Friends of Lawrence County Animals. Welcome to the Lawrence County Animal Hour. I have Ginger Morgan. Ginger is with the Lawrence County Animal Shelter, along with our guest today. We're so excited to have you, Shelly Wattling. And Shelly is the newest member of the shelter team at the Lawrence County Animal Shelter. Welcome, Shelly.
It's great to be here. Thank
I
you.
know, and we're so excited, and we want to get to know you and talk a little bit about your background. But before we get started with you, Shelly, who do you have with us?
Today we have Eve here. She is about 2 years old. She's up for adoption. She's maybe a husky cattle dog mix.
Are you a husky cattle dog mix? You're adorable,
She has
Eve.
If she would show off her
beautiful blue eyes.
She has beautiful blue eyes and little freckles on her nose. And how old do you think she is?
She's about 2 years old.
2 years old.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
She's so playful, but you've been working with her.
I have just
Yeah,
today.
Just today.
Just
And
today.
She's doing really well. So, Eve, you're going to be a part of us, and we've got a lot of great news to share for everybody today. So, before we get started, we want to thank our sponsors, the Hearing Services of Middle Tennessee, Story and Leigh and Parks Lumber Company. If you're out and about, please thank them for all that they do. Their efforts in sponsoring are just so appreciated, and we can't thank them enough. They make all of the life-saving work that you guys do at the shelter possible. But before we get started, Shelley, to find out a little bit more about you, Ginger, why don't you give us some numbers about the shelter?
Well,
Did you supply any shelter numbers last week? I can't.
I think I did, but I went over them pretty quickly.
Quickly? Okay.
So that we could talk to the commissioners. But let me just say this. I am so glad that Shelley's holding the dog this week.
Yes, that
Makes
is
me
different.
so happy because, well, it
Yes.
just makes me happy because typically they're in my lap and it looks like she's gonna want in Shelley's lap before the day's over, especially if Shelley just keeps feeding her the treats.
And you have them in your lap all day.
Well,
Usually, Grandma Edna
I
or
had
one of the
Grandma
other.
Edna,
Mhm.
and then there's Frankie the cat. That's the shelter cat now. But Grandma Edna, she rules the roost. I know everybody introduces me as running the shelter, but it's not.
Uh,
It's
for-
Grandma Edna.
For those of you who do not know, because it is crazy, but Frankie the cat has made himself at home at the Lawrence County Animal Shelter.
Yes.
And you got him neutered through the Lawrence County SNPs program, right?
Yeah, we did. I think
Yes,
so.
which is great. And we'll talk more about that later. But how long has Frankie been at the shelter?
He was there when the storm hit, I think. The
Okay.
ice storm. So he's been there probably since around Christmas. And so there have been a couple other cats that we've had spayed and neutered out there. And Frankie came back from his neuter. He had done something to a paw, so we kept him inside the shelter. When it was his time to go back out, I let him out to the free world. And I turned around. The next thing I know, he just came back into the shelter with me. So he's really good to test the dogs with because I don't think he has much self-preservation, but we are careful. But I think, didn't you say that he and Eve didn't have any issues with
No,
each other?
not one issue at all.
They
So
just
Eve
kind of,
gets along with cats for the most
yes,
part.
you kind of ignore cats. Did Eve ignore Frankie and Frankie kind of ignored?
Yes, I think the best thing was that Frankie had jumped into the training office part, and Eve was in there with me, and they looked at each other, and she sniffed him, and he didn't care, and she, I think, knew to back off. So maybe she has experience with cats and claws and things of that nature.
Oh, that's great.
Well, that would be good. Okay, so I digressed from the actual question.
Yeah, or shelter numbers.
The
It's
shelter
always good
numbers.
to know.
So this is all for April since we're just into May. So at the beginning of April, we had 128 dogs.
Okay.
We took in 25. We adopted out 22.
Okay.
We had some owner reclaims, thank goodness, and we transferred out 8. So we had an ending of 116.
Okay.
And of course, we've gotten puppies in since then. And last week, we talked about how we'd had parvo out at the shelter.
Right.
We contacted, nobody had been sick, and we contacted Best Friends. A lot of people don't know who they are. They're a national organization, kind of like the SPCA,
Mm-hmm.
the HSUS. If you were around when the whole Michael Vick and all the pit bulls, the Best Friends Animal Sanctuary took in a lot of those pit bulls
Oh, okay.
and kept them there, or put them up for adoption. So they know what they're doing out there, and with shelter medicine and things. And so I just wanted to make sure that I was doing things correctly. And I sent them an email that said, help. And literally the next morning, and it wasn't even 24 hours, we were having a meeting with the staff so that they could, tell us what the new trends were, what to do, make sure we're cleaning properly.
There are always new
all the things.
protocols. Everything's
are.
always updated, and that's so great. You are a part of the Best Friends Network,
Correct.
the shelter.
Yeah,
And
so
that's so important because you rely on them a lot.
I do. I know that when I'm stretched and I just want to make sure that I'm doing the best that we can at the shelter for the health of the animals,
Mhm.
then I'm like, hey, let's, don't let me think that I'm, in this little island by myself.
Right.
I have people to help. And so one of the things that I thought was really interesting from the shelter manager was from the shelter, not manager, veterinarian
Mhm.
for, when I say shelter veterinarian, she's with Best Friends, and she's
Mhm.
over like their shelter medicine group.
Mm-hmm.
Was some of the protocols that we had, we were kind of had the dogs in quarantine a little bit longer than she had suggested. I think it makes me a little nervous, but really in some of the things that she was saying, like for healthy dogs that come in that we're putting in quarantine, if let's say one comes in today and then my quarantine period is 10 to 14 days.
Right.
And I can't let that dog out because it hasn't been the 10 days. I know this is a much longer explanation than you ever wanted, but at least I'm not talking about heartworms. So,
Yes.
we had an entire 30-minute, I think, or 20 to 30 minutes about heartworms.
Don't mention heartworms and get Ginger going.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So anyway, so if you've got that dog in there and it's almost to the 7 days, but you bring another dog in and they have been exposed to something, whether it's parvo or, whatever, then
Mhm.
you've exposed the original dog. So we're trying to keep that in mind and rotating them out of there after observing them for, several days, but get them out so that we can get them up for adoption and all the things. So that helped.
They
make
help with
something-
protocols.
Yeah.
They help with, you can talk about the upcoming adoption event that you're going to participate. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I can. So from that conversation with Best Friends, my main contact sent me an email or text message that said, hey, we're doing an event with Walmart in Franklin.
Mhm.
It's a 3-day event. Do you want to bring some dogs? And I'm like, absolutely. And then I realized I committed myself for pretty much 3 12-plus hour days.
Memorial
Right.
Day weekend, right?
Yes, it's Memorial Day weekend. So it's the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th.
Mhm,
We will not be there on Memorial Day. But if you're in Franklin and you want to see some dogs that are
I think that would be fun. If any of you guys, I mean, sometimes it's a great shopping weekend and people
Yeah.
go up. So stop by Walmart. You can see, of course, you can see Lawrence County dogs in Lawrence County, but we'll also be there
Yeah, we'll
if
be
you're out
there.
and about.
And I think we're going to have a lot of fun. Best Friends is going to have a huge presence there. There's going to be games and probably food trucks, and it's not going to be just kind of like sometimes we set up you
Yes.
know, at a parking lot. It's kind of us. They're going to have lots of games and things. To
And they're
attract
not
people
only
there.
doing it in the Nashville area, but aren't they doing it in Dallas and maybe a
Yeah,
few
I think-
other
I
through
wanna
their
say that they
partnership with
just-
Walmart?
Yeah, that they just did one in Dallas. I think they may have just done one in Atlanta. So this is basically their Nashville.
What a
Okay.
great opportunity. And we're so excited about that. And Best Friends also helped coordinate the trip to Buffalo.
Correct.
Yes.
They kind of kicked off our
When was that?
transferring dogs.
I should know. I was there, but I
When was
can't.
it was June 4th of last year.
Okay. All right. June 4th. Yes.
I'm pretty sure it was June 4th.
So that sounds great. Well, lots of exciting things. You want to talk about a few more going on in May? I know that May is such a busy month.
May
At the
is-
shelter, it's just exploded, right?
It has exploded because we're doing several things. So we have a transport to
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh on the 8th, the 18th, 19th, the 19th.
The 19th, yes.
On the 19th. And then on the 20th, we have a transport going to Michigan.
Mhm.
And we're trying to put as many puppies going up there as possible. So how that worked last time, we sent puppies up. They pick them up on Wednesday morning. On when they get there Wednesday night, then Thursday morning they spay and neuter them. So we sent 30 dogs. On Friday, they had people lined up to adopt those dogs, and 29 of them were adopted on Friday.
Isn't that great? So, again, it's not like it used to be, but it's so refreshing. People love Lawrence County dogs and other
Exactly, yeah.
areas. Yes.
They do. And in Michigan, they have I don't know if it's in the entire state or just that county, but they have a mandatory spay neuter law.
Yes.
So you don't find a mama having puppies out anywhere where you can say, oh, hey, I found this dog that has these
Right.
puppies. I'm going to give you, that doesn't happen that way.
So speaking of, well, do you want to finish the events that are going on? I know the concert series before
Yeah.
I talk about spay neuter and our upcoming clinics.
Yes. Okay. So this Saturday,
Saturday.
the 9th,
Mm-hmm.
is the first, Levitt Amp
Yeah.
series at Veterans Park. We will have some
That's
of
so
our
great.
dogs.
That is going to be a lot of fun.
It is going to be a lot of fun. I participated in some of those concerts like that in Memphis, and it was tons of fun. So we need volunteers. Provided we have volunteers, we will have dogs at the park with volunteers just walking around. You can meet them. We'll be there from 5 until 7. We will leave before the fireworks starts at the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I think, isn't it somebody playing acoustic guitar or
Yes,
something?
I think
So-
that's the opening act is that. So, yes.
So it should be great, nice evening. I haven't looked at the weather, but just go out to the concert. But we
Veterans
would
Park.
like for you to check out our dogs while we're there. They will be, they will have their vests on that say "Adopt Me." So
Oh, that's great. So you won't be able to miss them. So if you would like to volunteer, you can email your contact information to Folca, Folca, volunteer @gmail.com, or you can also call Ginger, right, Ginger?
at 931-244-0265.
One more time.
931-244-0265. See, Shelly doesn't know about my Delilah voice.
Yeah, she
I-
loves to recite her phone number on the air. Yes, absolutely. So Tales to Trails, we've got that going on as
Tales
well.
the Trails is it? Yes, we have so many things going on in May. I
It's
can't
great.
even I'm not sure I'm going to get a day off in May, but I do have an employee that's going to make sure that I have a day off
Yeah.
or two in May. So on May 17th, in conjunction with David Crockett Park, we are doing our Tales to Trails. I think it may already be full, but we're doing them every month. So if somebody wants to come, you take one of our dogs. One of the employees will go as well. I think it's 5 or 6 people get to go. You walk the trails with one of the employees there with one of the rangers,
Mm-hmm.
and he will tell you about the park. I need to do that because I need to know more about the park.
Mm-hmm.
And David Crockett Park is great, and
Oh,
our
it's
dogs
great.
it's such a great thing for our dogs. We've gotten so many great pictures from those. The dogs get to go and get some pup cups, and they love them. No, I'm not. I didn't say anything about pup-
Okay. There we go. Mm.
She's like,
Freckle
"Oh, I like
face.
that."
You are absolutely adorable. Yes,
Then let's
you are.
see. We will be on the whatever that Saturday is. Is it the 16th? We will be at the farmers market,
Okay.
and then we'll
The
be back.
farmers market kicks off, correct? Or
The
has it
farmers market kicks off this Saturday.
this Saturday? Okay.
And we may have some dogs out there again, depending on volunteers. We want to do all of these events, and we do have a decent core set of volunteers. But if you don't have a dog, or if you have one, but if you don't have a dog, but you get kind of lonely on the Saturdays or whatever, come out.
I just think it's great. It's
And
such a
take-
good
yeah.
time. In fact, I met someone, one of the volunteers at the shelter. We read to Sacred Heart, which was so much fun, doggy do's and don'ts. And Julie, her name is Julie Johnstone, just a wonderful person. She works in Thompson Station, but she is off on, I think, Wednesdays and Saturdays, and she will come twice a week, she said, and walk dogs, and
Yep.
just loves it. And so I know that we're going to be building a community soon, and also have a Facebook group so that everybody can get to know other volunteers, to get to know the shelter dogs, to see in real time if someone gets adopted, or what's the latest with our dogs. It's going to be great. So look for more information regarding that
Yeah.
coming soon. This is a great time to volunteer. The weather is wonderful.
Yeah, the weather's perfect.
Yes,
And that Facebook group will be great because let's say I'm a volunteer and it's like, yeah, I have an extra hour on Saturday or Sunday or Tuesday, whenever. I'd like to take one of the dogs to the park. And then you can just say, hey, anybody else want to go with me?
Yes.
Grab a dog and you can both go to the park. It'll be great.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's also fun if you've walked a dog and see them out in the playground, current pictures, things like that. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited about seeing that happen. The upcoming events too, before we get into the spay and neuter. Well, you've mentioned the concert series. You've mentioned the farmers market, Tales to Trails.
Tails to trails or trails
Tails
to
to
tails. I
trails.
think it's tails to trails.
Okay, and our huge adoption event at Walmart. How many
Yes.
dogs are we going to be taking up there?
We will take, we're renting a van from Casa
Right.
to take up there. It will fit 23, I think, kennels. So depending on whether or not we're taking puppies, we'll probably at least have 23 dogs
Okay.
each day. So if we go up on Friday and all the dogs get adopted, well, by golly, guess what? We've got 23 more to
Absolutely.
kennels.
Absolutely. I think that's great.
I am going to be prepared.
So,
And I've heard,
Yes.
because we're always over capacity. Now I'm gonna just throw this out here that the sheriff said that once we are under 100, he's buying us all lunch.
oh, that's great.
So
Well, what
I'll
an
go get
incentive.
lunch.
And you know what? You guys got there for a little bit, and then of course it goes back
It was for
up.
5
But-
minutes.
But we're getting to the promised land. I mean, and so much good news coming out of the shelter, and it's because of the community. I can't thank everyone enough for stepping up for this very important project and making it happen. We can't thank you enough. Now, regarding spay neuter, our clinic, I think, on May 16th, we still have, the last I heard, 2 more male cat slots. Obviously, the females, dogs and cats, are filled. And for some reason, it's just hard to get those last few males in, but we hope to book those today. We also have a dogs only clinic coming up in June, and I've got to get the date. But look please follow our Facebook page, Friends of Lawrence County Animals. And the minute we're ready to go and start booking that, we will announce it and share, of course, our email information. We're looking forward to it. And I think, FYI, guys, it might be the last clinic until fall because it gets hot.
Yeah.
And we have so many cars in Rotary Park drop off their animals and then pick them up. So sometimes we feel like we have done them in July, but I think we're going to wait until September and then start them off again. So if you're looking to get especially your dog spayed or neutered, please like our Facebook page, Friends of Lawrence County Animals, and we'll be announcing the June clinic soon.
Oh, she got in your lap.
Oh, of course she is. Of course she
I
is.
was going to avoid this, but no.
There she goes.
All right, there,
And she'll be able to show her little sweet eyes.
there,
Yes.
there.
There you go.
Good
Look at her,
girl.
Eve.
Hey,
Yeah,
watch
she's-
out. Now, I don't want
Eve.
to. Okay, there we go.
There we go. Okay. So I've
Well,
got to
that's
have
one way
those
to get her
treats.
face shown.
I know.
So she did that just so we could talk to Shelly for a moment. So again, Shelly, we're so glad that you're on the program. And for those of you, we were thrilled to learn that you have an extensive background in animal services.
I do.
And you recently moved here from California.
I did.
We're so glad you're here. And tell us a little bit about what you did there regarding animals.
So in California, I started my animal career working at a kennel in California. That was a really good job for me because I was able to learn about dog training, dog behavior. Of course, when I was young, we had dogs and I would teach them to sit, those kind of basic things. But working in the kennel, I was able to work with an actual behavioralist, and she worked with animals in show business. So she trained tigers and monkeys and all kinds of
Oh,
things.
my
So
star-
it was
okay.
really beneficial for me
Yeah.
to learn all about training. And then I started work as a groomer, and I became a groomer. I wanted to be able to provide services to cats that were in the shelter that needed grooming because cats come in and they're matted, and it costs a lot of money to have a groomer groom a cat.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be able to provide that service to the
Did you
community.
tell Frankie?
I didn't. That's why he still likes me.
What is Frankie a tabby?
He's just a short hair, a domestic short hair.
Okay.
So then I was able to take what I had learned with dog behavior and grooming, and I got a job with Solano County Animal Care and Control, and I worked there as a kennel attendant and learned so much more about animal control and what the public needs versus what they don't need. And the basic need is education for animal shelters. They just need a lot of education about dogs and cats, wild animals, just different things that go on that the public doesn't really know about with the shelter. So the shelter provides a lot of information and resources to the public if the public knows where to get it.
Right.
So
Right.
after I worked at Solano County for a couple of years, I got hired on as a animal services clerk at Contra Costa County, and I worked there for several years. That was a different role. I wasn't interacting with the animals so much. I was more working for the public. So that is a difficult job in itself. They always asked if it was like working for the DMV, and it very much is, because in California, everybody's in a hurry and they want it now. So it was a tough job for me, just emotionally and socially and morally. So I left doing that for probably about 8 years, and then I worked at a local vet, Vaca Valley Vet in Vacaville, and got to learn more medicine stuff. So my goal was to
So
become
well-rounded. Very well-rounded background.
I really wanted to be an animal control officer when I started this whole thing. I really wanted to. I went to school and I got my criminal justice degree, and I wanted to be able to write procedures and policies that would help benefit the animals for cruelty and educational type things. So coming here to Lawrenceburg has really been kind of a dream come true for me, because I want to do behavioral and training. That's my goal, is to help keep animals in their homes, because the main reason why animals show up at the shelter is behavioral, whether they've gotten out and they're lost and people don't know where to come and pick them up, or to keep them in the home with some of the behavioral things that they have going on. That helps, spay and neuter definitely is an issue that needs to be discussed, and
Right.
helps with behavioral problems. Being able to spay and neuter your animals helps with a lot of issues that they have. So I'm really on board for people getting their dogs spayed and neutered.
Yes.
Not having puppies.
It really is a game changer, isn't
Yes,
it?
yes.
Regarding their behavior
Yes,
as
it
well,
is.
you can definitely tell a difference.
Yes, a lot of people may not be for spaying and neutering their pets, but if your dog doesn't have a job, it needs to. It needs to be spayed or neutered. I know there's a lot of people that use animals for hunting purposes and for showing, but ultimately it is better for them to be spayed and neutered, because the overpopulation
Oh,
is
absolutely.
definitely affecting the shelter.
We cannot adopt our way out of the situation. Spay and neuter is the only way.
Yes.
But it also is a personal benefit because they're not fighting.
Yeah.
They're
They're not reproducing.
They're not reproducing.
They're not getting out. And
You
then,
can, as far as marking,
yes.
and again, we're talking about bad behaviors. I mean, there's so many.
There's a lot of bad behavior that comes along with it.
Yeah, yeah.
It makes a lot of people's lives easier too once their animals are spayed and neutered, especially with females, because then you don't have to go through heat cycles anymore. With males, they lose the testosterone that drives them to be more aggressive,
Right.
And wanting to get out.
Right.
So it's definitely beneficial. There's more pros than there are cons.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, absolutely they are. So we talked about, can you tell us exactly what your job is going to be, or when did you start actually?
I started on
2 weeks ago.
a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, Ginger, and you might help, how does Shelly fit in with the team, and what is everybody's responsibilities? I know they do a lot of the same things, but they all have a focus, don't they? Certain focuses.
Some days it's like we do everything.
Right, right.
Because there are still only 2 full-time people and 2 part-time people.
Yes.
So with Shelly's experience, one, I wanted her to help train, the dogs, because we do have some people that come out and train the dogs. But one of the things is the enrichment stuff that we can do at the shelter to better the dogs' lives while they're there. They're not bored. If they're not bored, they're not eating those kennel floors, or
Yes.
they're not. If we keep them
Engaged.
active and engaged and their mind working, whether or not we can get them outside, then it's going to make them a calmer dog for the shelter, and a better dog to go into somebody's home. And that's just kind of has been my goal since the very beginning, is to just have work with the dogs that have some issues, because they're out and they're about. Most of them are not spayed or neutered. We were just talking about that. So, work with them and make them highly adoptable dogs by running off their energy, playing ball, doing things, teaching them to sit. And you just did that with her today, right?
Yeah. And I'm teaching her to look at me. That's another command that people should have their dogs do, is to look at them so that they can get their attention.
She is just great. I mean,
she's
she is
fantastic.
just
She's so smart.
locked in.
She just needs someone to work with her. I mean, she's a fantastic dog. They gave her a bath today, no issues. I blow dried her. She did great, no issues. Not afraid, didn't try to leave, wasn't scared. So she's just a phenomenal dog, and all of these dogs can be phenomenal dogs. We
Absolutely.
just need the time and the energy and the
Yes.
volunteers to do it.
And what is so wonderful, you mentioned, of course, Shelly mentioned you have vet experience. So does Adriana. So you have 2 people who have worked at veterinarian offices,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Which that's great as well, a background. And so that's, it sounds like you have just really developed quite a team. And Shelly coming here has just been a godsend. So we're
And then
so
we
glad
also
you're
have
here.
Lori
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
there. And
Good for her.
Lori does a little bit of everything, but I think she does her best to keep us organized.
Yes.
And
Yes.
she makes sure that I take days off.
Yes.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lori's
And
a
she's-
key piece to.
I
Yeah.
love Lori.
Yeah.
She is such a driver.
Yeah, she
And-
wants to get these dogs out. She wants to get
Yes.
them in a home. She wants to help the community. She just this is what her drive is, and she's great. Adriana's great. She wants to help the animals in the shelter so that they can be healthy.
Yeah.
Monitoring them to make sure their medications are done correctly, and it's coming together.
Yes.
It's coming together.
Yes. It's just,
Good girl.
it's just, yay!
Let me tell you, it's like yes and yes.
Yes, and yes, and yes. So
I'm
it's
so
so good.
excited to.
And of course, our animals benefit so greatly from
Yeah.
being in the shelter and being loved. I know that Ginger mentioned one of the rescues that came down and looked at all the dogs to pick some to go, I think, to Massachusetts.
Yeah,
And
those went to
and looked at
Massachusetts.
Ginger and said, well, you can tell these dogs are being loved. And I thought it meant so much to her. And it said so much about you and your team. What a great job you do.
Yeah, let me tell you that when she said that, she was almost in tears. And when they left, I think I went and cried because that's exactly what I came here. That's what I said. The dogs' lives will be better because they came to us.
Yes.
And we're finally getting to that.
Yeah.
Where the dogs that leave us are well-rounded and can be,
Yes.
when I went to Pittsburgh a couple weeks ago,
Yes.
or I think it was a couple weeks ago. It could have been 2 months ago for all I know now, but time flies when you're petting dogs.
That's right.
And so I went to see two of the places that took some of our dogs that Jeff took up there for us, and both of them said how wonderful our dogs were. and they
Yes,
wanted
isn't
to
that
take-
great?
As soon as they could, they would take some more. So, and it was good. There were a couple of dogs that had not gotten adopted yet. And when they heard my voice, you could, there was a cling on that kennel like, oh, I know her.
Absolutely. And
that
what a
made me
surprise.
feel
Here
good.
comes Ginger.
And they're like, oh, we thought we left you a long time ago.
It is just great. We have so many great dogs at the shelter. And the good news is we're going to be sharing more of them on the Lawrence County Animal Hour. We're going to
that's
be,
right.
yeah. So this is also in the works. And, if anything's in the works, I'm going to blab about it. I can't, wait
Let's see, I
until.
found out about it about 30 minutes ago.
I know.
so-
But the good news is we're going to take it on the road. Charlotte and Colby have been so great, and we're going to the shelter. We will go to one of our spay-neuter clinics. We will be doing a lot of great things so that the community can really see what is going on with Lawrence County animals.
Now,
And
did Charlotte tell Colby?
I don't know.
Does he know about that?
Do you know about that, Colby?
He does now.
That we might be going on the road a little bit, maybe to the shelter. Yeah. Hey, he's
Well-
along for the ride. He's a good sport. He's a good sport. Surprise.
Okay.
But it's all good because we have so many great dogs. And
Yeah, we do.
and I know that the community has expressed that they would like to see more of our dogs. Isn't that right, Eve? So it's all good. We're excited about that. So Shelly, to circle back, what brought you to Lawrence County? How did you find us? We're so glad you found us, but how did you find us?
My husband and I wanted to leave California for many years, but he was vested in his job. He's retired sergeant from Contra Costa County, and we wanted a place that was a small town, nice people, and quiet. And we have a friend that lives here, so we started just looking at properties and ended up
Oh,
finding
that's
the perfect
great.
one. And now we're out here, and we absolutely love it. Everybody's been so nice to us. We're not those Californians. We're not trying to change anything. So we
No,
absolutely love it here.
And let me tell you, California, Tennessee is a beautiful state. California is an
It is.
absolutely gorgeous state
Yeah.
with absolutely, wonderful people,
Yes.
all types of people. And we're so glad that you're here.
Yeah,
and we
we're happy to be here.
And people who move here are moving here because they do appreciate, they want a smaller town, a slower,
Pace.
slower
Yeah.
pace. And so we I was thrilled when Ginger told me. Of course, the position was open, and she said, I'm looking for someone with experience and, a certain type of experience. And then lo and behold, she had told me she made a decision and all about you. And it was like you were just dropped from the sky. I
She
mean, just
was
completely-
dropped from the sky. What did you come in to look for a dog? I mean, you walked into the,
I came into the shelter because I had seen the post for the job. And
Oh, okay.
I hadn't been to the shelter, and I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to go just to see what the county shelter was like. And I just happened to walk in and talk to you, and it just kind of happened. It
Yeah.
wasn't something that I was planning on. I just really wanted to be able to help the community and help the dogs. If I could do anything for a job, this would be it. I love working with animals. I love working with people. I really would like to have a training program to help people with their pets and also bring the volunteers in to help learn how to do training, because really training isn't training the dog, it's training the person.
Yes.
So that the person can train their pet. So I've been able to train dogs, cats. My cat knows how to sit and he knows how to wait. And
No way.
yeah, he does.
No way.
Yeah, it's really easy. You just have to motivate them, and you just have to find something that motivates
wait, you
them.
just got the cat over the weekend.
Oh, no,
right?
no. This is my cat that I had.
Oh, I was
that I
just
brought
going
with
to
me
say,
from California.
wow, now I have a Great Pyrenees mix that does nothing.
Well, and let me say
He
this.
smiles.
That's good.
There are
That's
so
it.
many people that I know, and myself included, that our dogs go through training, not our cats, and we don't follow up. Now, Bubba is my dog, and he's been around. I mean, he's not a hot mess, but that's the key, is to continue to follow commands. They love it. It engages them.
Yeah, dogs
but it
are
does
here to work, and we have
Yes.
to keep them working. Even if your dog has been trained and knows commands, it's to continue with it, because dogs, they need a job. That's why they are man's best friend. They want to work for us. That's the difference with cats. Cats will do it if they want to. Dogs do it because they want to.
Yes.
So being able to provide that kind of environment for your pet makes the pet happy.
And you are exactly right. When you say dogs want a job,
They do.
and it can be anything. My dog gets so excited when I water the plants. He knows, for whatever reason, that he needs to be involved in that process.
Yes.
So when I pick up a plant, it could be indoor or out. Really, he gets more excited about the indoor plants. And for some reason, he's a part of that, me picking them up, bringing them to the sink,
Yeah.
so on and so forth. My husband's phone will go off to remind him to do something outside. Bubba gets very excited because he knows he's going to go outside
Yes.
and do some of the work that, Jeff does. I mean, it is amazing
Yeah.
that
They want to be involved. They want to
do.
be with us. They want to work. And you just have to find what that dog is good at.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a dog. Well, I've had more than one dog, but I had this one dog, Maxine, that she got excited when I scooped my backyard.
Oh,
When
would
you
scoop
scooped
and
it, you mean the poop?
Yeah, when I scooped the poop. Yeah.
Okay.
So she would
that's
go and tell me where the next pile was.
Oh,
that
that
I
is
needed to
great.
scoop.
Oh, okay.
And
dogs can do all types of jobs.
I mean, it was so funny
Yes.
because I just noticed it one day. I mean, she knew what I was doing, and then I was like, "Oh, well, what's over there?" Because she's like, "I don't know." It was like, almost pointing. I go there and I scoop it up. So I have a pet sitter, and we were talking about something, and she said, "Oh, I scooped the yard," and I said, "Well, did you let Maxine help you?" And she goes, "Yes." As a matter of fact, like she went to the next pile to see where, to show me where it was. I'm like, "Hey, keeps you from wandering around."
Yeah, not stepping in it.
Yeah,
Don't step in it. Yeah,
absolutely.
here it is. Don't step in there. You scoop it up.
Yeah, dogs, they're great. They there's a dog that I think would do really well at the shelter right now. If there was someone who wanted to work with her doing scent work. She has her nose to the ground. She wants to find things. And that's one of the things that's really easy to do in your house. You can take treats, and if your dog is really scent motivated, you can hide them in like couch cushions. You can hide them around the house. And so the dog is using its brain and its natural instinct to smell and is working. And that gets them tired. You know, you can take a border collie for a run for 12 miles. It'll run.
Yes.
But it's still going to bounce off the walls because that brain needs to be worked.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of dogs that are very smart and get into trouble because they are smart. And if they just have a job to do, that would lessen the effect of the getting in trouble.
So what are the other types of jobs that you can, you know, like watering the plants, scooping poop? Can you think of any more jobs that dog? I mean, that's what my dog likes to do.
I think our dogs are pretty unique on their job.
Yeah, they are.
So I've been around dogs that have been trained to do to detect bed bugs, cancer, dogs that work PTSD for people. They can be therapy dogs. I had a dog that I trained that she could go into libraries and the children would read to her. She could also go into hospitals where there were, I happened to be near a military base, and we trained dogs that could go into the military base to bring up the spirits of the people that were coming back with injuries.
Oh, okay.
So
yes,
that
yes.
being able to interact with a dog for
Yes.
a lot of people it's very good for you. It helps with blood pressure. It helps, you know, lift their spirits, and those endorphins that we need to be a good human, you know.
People live longer.
They
with,
do when they
with
have
animals. Yes.
So it's a really good thing to have animals in our lives just on a regular basis. So that's the thing, you know, if you don't have any animals and you want to be around some dogs, come down to the shelter. You know, I like it when people come down and I can introduce dogs that maybe haven't met them and see how they do with strangers, see how they
Yes.
interact with all types of kids and the elderly and men and women. You know, animals need exposure. So if we can expose them to more things, then they're a well-rounded dog. And
Yes.
that gets them out of the shelter and in homes, and they can just be a family.
Now, one thing you did not mention in our events, very important, we are having an open house. When I say
how can I
we,
forget
the shelter.
open house?
Yeah, we've been
Yes.
working to get ready for it.
I know.
Yes.
We're having an open house. I guess because I always think my house is open. You know?
Yeah.
But
And the shelter is always open.
we're always
but,
open.
But yes.
So on May 13th
yes.
at noon,
Yes.
from 12 to 1, we're going to have an open house. Come out. We're going to talk a little bit about what we do there. We're actually going to do a tour through the kennel
Yes.
for everybody, and we'll probably break it up to a couple of tours. You might want to, for us, I don't think it's loud anymore because the dogs know us, but anything new or different, they all
They're
start
loud.
barking. So you might want to have some earplugs if you want to go through, but just wanted to show some of the improvements that we've made and see how the dogs are living out there. We do have, you know, we have you're doing lunch, so we'll talk, and then
We're
I
going to
wanna
have a
say-
box lunch
Right, exactly.
available. If people, I think Rick's is actually doing a delicious lunch, box lunch for $10 so that you can, you know, take it back with you or it will be right there and available. And it is a great time. It's going to be a great time to go out, meet the team, the shelter team, see what's out there, see about our plans, because there's a lot of good things that we're planning on doing with the campus that's very exciting. Look at the walking trails. It's all good. So May the 13th at noon, correct?
Yep, from
From
noon to
12
1.
until 1.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's
and
all good.
obviously we'll be there after that. We're not closing down, so if you can't make it right at 1, you can still come by and meet
Oh,
us.
yes, absolutely.
But the main thing is going to be from 12 to 1 there, and come down. Rick's Barbecue, you know, we'll have those. So what did you say? It was $10. So
$10.
You can come through. We're going to talk a little bit. You can take a tour through the shelter, pick up Brooks on the way back, and either go. We have some picnic tables, not very many, at the dog parks if you wanted to go up there. or take it back to lunch with. Back
It's
to
going to
work
be
with you.
great. A lot of people know where the shelter is. It's
Mhm.
been there for a very long time. And then 5 years ago, how long have we had? No, 3 years ago, we had the new building, right?
4.
4. I'm horrible with time.
It was
4
2
years
years
ago.
before I got there, so
Yeah,
I've been there
four
for
years
2.
ago, we had the new building. And then we are raising money, of course, for our quarantine and intake
Mhm.
center. So that's exciting, and that's kind of in the works. So lots of good things.
Lots of good things.
Mhm.
And I tell you what, during the when we had parvo, we sure could have used that quarantine and intake center. So,
Absolutely.
if
Yes,
anybody has a few extra dollars, contact Leanne,
Yeah.
and you can donate to the.
you can go online, and there is a comment, and you can put it specifically for the Dr. Dan Jennings Intake and Quarantine Center.
Yeah.
So that's
and
a
your
big project.
and onto your FOCA page.
Yes, yes.
So is it FOCA or Friends of Lawrence County Animals?
It is folcatn.org.
Okay. Oh, that's your website. Okay.
Yeah, that's our
All right.
website. Folca, FOLCATN.org.
Okay.
So, yes, and then there is the ability to donate. So that's exciting. One other thing, especially if you're interested in volunteering too, the open house will be a good time
Exactly.
to talk to anybody about what you're interested in doing, and to see the shelter, meet some of the dogs.
Mhm.
So that would be great as well. People who are curious about the shelter, people who are interested in volunteering, our business community. We're also inviting members of the chamber as well. Folca will be there. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
good.
yeah, come on out. It will be a fun time.
Yes, so I'm so glad we talked about that.
I can't believe I forgot about
Well, we're talking about adoption events and
Yeah.
so on and so forth. And of course, we will always adopt dogs right at the shelter,
Mhm.
even during the open house.
And
Yes.
one thing people, and we're trying to work on this, but when you Google the animal shelter in Lawrenceburg, you're going to come up with different names. There's something out there that says we're closed on the weekends. The dogs have to be fed, and they have to eat and be cleaned up. Fed and they have to be cleaned up every day. We are there every day. So anytime you want to come out, Monday through Saturday from 8 until about 3:30, and on Sunday from 8 until about 2:30. We will show you a dog. And you can volunteer during those times as well.
So I want you to think about, and I know, what are your greatest priorities right now for the shelter? And I know it's
5-year plan.
I know, where's that 5-year plan? No, I know number one, because I talk to Lori always, getting dogs adopted.
Yeah,
Getting
getting the
dogs in good
dogs
homes. Lori is our
adopted.
true north, and that's all important to everybody. But it's sometimes we're working on another project or whatever, and Lori always, who is a member of the shelter team, keeps us on track to make sure that is the number one. She whispers in everybody's ears.
Exactly.
Yes.
No, it's to get the dogs adopted,
Yes.
or to transfer them out to places where they're going to be adopted.
Yes, yes.
Where we were talking earlier about transporting the dogs up north to either Massachusetts or Michigan or Pennsylvania, and those dogs, I mean, they may have been in our shelter for over a year, close to 2 years, and they've gotten adopted
Oh, absolutely.
already.
Yes.
I mean, it's so moving them out, because I know, my dogs I think have adopted a puppy. My dogs have. But, everybody here in Lawrence County and the surrounding counties, if you want a dog, you have a dog
Mhm.
for the most part.
Mhm.
And your dog has friends, so
Right.
so moving them out is great. So if you know somebody, and people come, they look at our dogs on Pet Finder, so you can always look if you want to come look at our dogs. You can always go to Pet Finder first and kind of narrow it down to 2 or 3. I mean, I've had people come in with little pieces of paper. I want to see Eve. I want to see Duke. I want to see, they have a list, so they can make up their mind kind of, and then once they get there. But, we've had people come from Nashville, Alabama, all kinds of places to adopt our dogs because they find them on Pet Finder.
One other thing, everybody's so busy. Lawrence County is no exception. A lot of people involved in sports, a lot of kids are involved in sports. And we find out, even as busy as they are, a pet, a dog or a cat can be the anchor that they always come home to.
Yeah.
It's so important as everybody's going to in their different ways. An animal, a pet, can provide the anchor in true love, waiting for them when they, walk in the door. So we really need to promote that more often, I believe, because people think that they need to spend an enormous amount of time with their dog. And, some dogs do sleep a lot,
Well, I think part of the problem is people want puppies, and puppies are a lot of work. They
Yes.
take a lot of time. So if you don't have a lot of time, get an adult dog, get an
Right.
older dog,
Yes.
because they
Get
are
Eve.
much easier to train and are more forgiving in the fact that they don't need constant attention than a puppy.
No, right.
So, in my experience, getting an older dog is great because you don't go through the puppy stage of teething.
And what do you consider an older dog?
A lot of people won't adopt a dog that's over 5, but
Okay.
a lot of dogs are in their prime
Right.
and they're ready to go. I mean, all they need is a good home. These dogs at the shelter, I think, are more appreciative about a nice warm bed and someone to love them
Yes.
than a lot of other dogs.
Yes.
I've always been an advocate for rescuing instead of, adopt, don't shop.
Right.
And I think that these dogs, even though they're not purebred, they're fantastic.
Hey, they
They're
are Lawrence
fantastic
County
dogs.
originals.
Yes.
They are Lawrence County originals. They're wonderful dogs.
Yeah.
They were the dogs that so many Lawrence Countyans, because I grew up here, moved away, and then came back. But those are the types of dogs that we had that made our childhood very special.
Yeah.
They were, they looked like Eve.
Yeah. All of my dogs have been rescued. My first dog that I got as a family, her name was Lucy. She helped me train so many other fosters, dogs and cats. She was an older dog. She was like two years old when we got her, and she was the best dog. She helped me raise my kids. She's just really the pinnacle of a shelter dog. She was definitely an advocate for shelter dogs.
So are your kiddos still out in California? Are they
Yes.
planning to move, or
My
they
daughter
just
is
want to
in
come
California.
and see?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's hopefully going to come out and visit pretty soon. I don't
Okay.
want to bring her during the summer because it's extremely hot and
Yes,
humid.
yes.
I think if I bring her in the
In the
fall,
fall,
she'll
yes.
fall in love with it and then won't stay.
Yes, yes.
So, yeah, all of my pets, we rescued 2 Dobermans. One of them, my daughter was able to train for her PTSD service dog. I had a dog named Tonka. She was like a bulldog mix. She was my PTSD service dog. So and they all came from the shelter. So dogs can come from the shelter and do all kinds of work.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they can go into prisons and find contraband, and they can do scent work and detect cancer. There's just someone that needs the want to do it. And so come get a shelter dog.
Well, we're so excited that you have several people who are trainers. You have a team of trainers because Tanya, right?
Yeah, Tanya.
Tanya
and
has,
Shawnee and
yes, and
Giovanni.
Shawnee, yes. It's just wonderful.
Yeah.
What a great team. And so your plan is to train more volunteers so that your volunteers can work more with our shelter dogs so that they know basic commands and things like
Yeah.
that when they leave and go to their new families.
Yeah, so that they can have manners, and it's a lot easier for new adopters to keep that dog in the home if they're not having any behavioral issues. And I would love in the future to be able to have a training program where people bring their adopted pets from the shelter to do a training course, a 6 to 8 week training course, so that they can get it down.
Yes.
And they can teach their dog beyond regular basic obedience.
Yes, yes, absolutely. That's wonderful. So after May is over, you guys aren't going on vacation. So is there anything coming up in June?
Well, we still have the concert series.
Yes,
In
in Farmers
June.
Market.
In the farmers market.
Yes.
And I would like to, last year we did Black Dog Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to implement that again if
Mhm.
we can wind up getting staff to be able to cover that time so we can be open later on Fridays. And then, and we still have a lot of black dogs, but I've also realized that we have a lot of white dogs. So at some point, I think we're going to also do White Dog Wednesdays
That's great.
and have, I just kind of joked about that, but I think it's a great idea.
Mhm.
Really, because of how we're situated and where we have the trustees and stuff come out and help us clean, we have particular hours, and
Right.
our hours are not really conducive to people who don't get off work until 4 or 5 o'clock. So
Yes.
if we can offer 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock a couple of nights,
I think that'd
especially
be great.
in the summertime and the fall until the till the time change.
Everybody's so active at night,
Yeah.
they're so active. Look at Eve. Eve is active. She's raised her tail.
She said
She's
"Ah."
been, she's really
She
enjoyed.
has white on their tip, so maybe she did that for the White Dog Wednesday.
That's exactly, she
don't think we
did.
have
She
any
did.
enough
It's like,
white-
This is
she
exactly
is just
what she's
great.
supposed to be doing. I mean,
Exactly.
she would be a really great companion for somebody who's active,
Yes.
not even really active, but
So here she goes.
likes.
So
She likes to go for walks. She could be a trail dog. I mean, there's just a lot of things that she would be good for.
So we are, Eve, I'm glad you woke up for the end of the program. We want to thank WLX, who really makes everything special. We're so
Yes.
excited, Colby, that we're going on the road
On
and
the
going
road.
to new places. We do have our commissioner series coming up. So we will see you soon. Thanks to our sponsors again, Story and Leigh, Parks Lumber, Hearing Services of Middle Tennessee. Thank you.